Hey again, my friends. So, this chapter we're talking about throwing that cell phone and laptop off a tall building. I know. I can't live without them either. So, I'm not telling you to legitimately do that. However, I am suggesting that you use them less and less and use them for constructive purposes only. Maybe not only, but reduce the amount of time you're using for non-constructive purposes. Like if you're what I like to call a Sir Scrolls a lot, scrolling through social media and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram all the time, probably not the best use of your cell phone. Same thing if you're cruising around on the internet, not really getting anything done on your laptop or computer. Those are not very good uses of your time. Again, there's always room for that. I do it too. However, when you take that time, if you were to track how much time you actually spend on social media or cruising the internet on your laptop or computer, I bet you're going to find that it's a lot more than you really should. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know I was spending 12 to 15 hours a week on this. That's a lot of time. I could be doing something else, something better, something more constructive, something that builds my career, builds my business, builds my relationships, improves my health. Lots and lots of different things we can be doing differently. So when I talk about in this chapter is not necessarily to really throw your cell phone or laptop off a tall building. However, it's limit the amount of time you're on them. So for example, I'm willing to bet that you're one of those people that uses your cell phone as your alarm clock plugged in right next to your bed. The question is why? Because what happens is when we do that, when we set our cell phone next to our bed as our alarm clock, it tends to be the last thing we look at night and the first thing we look at in the morning. And sometimes even in the middle of the night, if we go up to use the bathroom, we're like, oh, let's see what's going on. Let's see what somebody sent me. Did anyone send me anything? That not only psychologically hurts you, there are studies done that the actual visualizing of electronics, the last thing before you go to bed and in the middle of the night actually hurt your sleep cycle, actually hurt you getting to sleep and staying asleep. So one of the things I currently do, and that I encourage you guys to do, is I actually plug my cell phone in the other room overnight. There's very few times there's an emergency that's really going to require you to get up in the middle of the night. I know you're like, oh, what if somebody calls and there's an emergency? Cool. And guess what? I have it just outside the door in another room, and I have the specific people who would require emergencies on a very loud volume. So only if they call would it go off really loud. And every modern cell phone has that ability where you can let certain emergency contacts through even when you've got it in sleep mode or you got it in other modes. So that's not really an excuse. However, what you're going to find is if even after just a week of putting your cell phone in the other room and charging it in the other room while you go to sleep, just in the first week, you're going to find how much better you're sleeping, how much more alert you're waking up, and how happier you are when you wake up in the morning. So I encourage you to reduce the amount of time you're spending on your computer, your laptop, your tablets, your phone, social media. Just find the constructive ways to use it. Don't get me wrong, or schedule time. Hey, you know what? 9 o'clock this morning, I'm going to spend half an hour scrolling through social media, responding to people, talking to people, posting. Cool. I'm going to do the same thing at 8 o'clock at night. Cool. In between, don't be one of those people that's like, who posted what? Oh, did I get comments? Did I get likes? Oh, don't be that person. When you do that, you reduce your psyche and you really lose focus on what you should be focusing on. So reduce the amount of time on your electronics, and we'll see you in the next chapter.